It's Kamina, the coach here. Sorry. I actually put my hair up and I was like, no, I'm going to do a video. So, I just wanted to give an update because I started Brainspotting last week. Last Thursday was my first therapy session. So, Kamina, the coach, right? So this channel was dedicated to helping people who wanted to go overseas, to work overseas, get ready to do that. I came back to the United States in 2020, March 2020, because of COVID, and I'm likely not going back overseas. So I began my adoption journey. I'm a transracial, late discovery, biracial adoption. Try saying that 5 times fast, it's a mouthful. I notice a change in myself. My friend said, you sound really good. And I guess I am. Even after, first things first, Brainspotting. Let's talk about, EMDR, I can't talk really thoroughly about it because I haven't done any research on it in a long time. When I first did research on EMDR, the theory was that we process trauma in REM sleep, and because some traumas are so intense, we don't fully process the trauma, therefore it gets stuck in the brain. So the tapping or the left and right stimulation while you're reliving the memory helps you to process the trauma. That's what it used to be. I don't know if that theory has changed or that explanation has changed or not. So Brainspotting was born of EMDR, works faster. Also, it's good for trauma that you feel in your body. So me in particular, I have a real, when I fear death, I feel it like pins and needles, like prickly heat all in my face right here. So, and it's from a specific trauma from my birth. So Brainspotting is best for a specific event, usually one that you can remember. I can't remember that one. And one that you feel in your body, born of EMDR. So Brainspotting is, I guess every professional does it differently. My therapist didn't do it the way that I've seen it done. So basically, she had me talking about something, and it wasn't, we were going to try spotting, but when she asked me to go into my body, I had a really negative reaction because I didn't fully trust her yet. Once we got the trust going, I started talking about some mommy issues, my mom sleeping with my ex and all that kind of stuff. And see, even as I mention it now, so I can see where it's stored. So as we're talking about it, she said, do you see where your eyes are focused at? So the thing is, a lot of therapists will move something back and forth while you're thinking about it. And really, you should be thinking about it. You should be talking about it. I'm a little surprised that we were talking about it. I don't particularly want to talk about it, but whatever. I don't feel bad. And we weren't talking about anything really that I still feel bad about. Like the story about my mom, up until I found out I was adopted, I've pretty much processed all that stuff. Is it hampering me deep down? Probably, but I don't recoil or feel anything in my body when I relive it, when I think about it. So as I was talking about it, so normally somebody will be moving something from across in your field of vision, and they're looking for some movement, and they'll tell you to stop. And usually where you stop is where that brain, so you're looking, wherever you're looking, you've actually stopped in that portion of the brain where that memory is located. And normally what happens is they have you hold that eye position and just hold it. And it's a lot of silence, right? You just hold that eye position and just hold it. I've heard some people say they cry. My therapist said she had a lot of strange bodily reactions. I expect that as well. I've done TREE, so trauma response exercise. I don't know. TREE is when you shake. So there's a couple of different exercises you can do to relax your psoas and the muscles that keep you from shaking. And we're actually supposed to shake after we've had trauma or a traumatic experience so that the experience can pass out of our bodies. That's the reason why animals and children don't really experience trauma, because they shake, and kind of just move on with it. That's why children are so resilient. Adults at some point stop shaking because society has told us to. So I expect that probably there will be some shaking. So that's my update on Brainspotting. I've also begun my journey with psychedelics. If you want to know what kind, we can talk privately. I'm not going to talk about what kind I used or where I found it or the process that I'm using. We'll have to talk about that offline. I just will say that I'm using I'm therapeutically using psychedelics. My therapist is trained in that, and I'm so thankful. I did do it on my own, as advised, and I'm very thankful I did it on my own. I do not think I would have felt safe enough or comfortable enough to experience that with people around. So the Brainspotting was Thursday, today's Monday, and then last night, Sunday night, was the first psychedelic dose. And I can't say for sure which of those was most effective, or if it's a compound of the two. I really can't. I just can say that I notice a difference, and what that is, I don't know. My big realization while I was under with the psychedelics, so I spent a couple of hours not even knowing that I was a body, which is fabulous because we're not really. I spent a lot of time reminding myself why I'm in that state. I invited myself to look at some of my dark stuff, and my mind protected me and wouldn't allow me to do that. What was the biggest thing I took from that, and I think was reiterated very often during this experience, was that I'm safe. I've done a lot of preparation to get to this point. There's no way that I would have just randomly done this. I did a lot of research. I've been preparing for years for something major like this. So I think that my brain was just kind of telling me that you're safe. I am worried a little bit that my brain is so serious about protecting me that it's hidden the trauma somewhere that I can't access it because it doesn't feel like I would be safe if I accessed it, which is an interesting realization that I'm going to discuss with my therapist on Thursday when we start our next Brainspotting session. So I thought that with Adoptee Remembrance Day coming up this Friday, that it would be a really good time to talk to you about this. For those of you in the United States who are struggling to find therapists, a lot of young therapists or senior therapists who want to volunteer their time have advertised themselves on Open Path Collective. Now, are you going to be able to find somebody adoption informed? Not always. If you have insurance, if you have good insurance, Psychology Today, with their website, you can search by adoption informed and you can find people there. You can search by your insurance. That's how I found my therapist. Open Path Collective, it's a sliding scale, anywhere from $30 to $60, and it won't be more than $60 an hour. You just have to remember that this might be a very new therapist, a young therapist, or maybe just an older therapist who just wants to volunteer their time. So just keep that in mind. Just keep that in mind. I know what it's like not to have insurance. Been there for many, many, many years. So I'm just really thankful for this period of time right now where I can use my therapist. I'm so thankful for her. I couldn't have asked for more. I couldn't have. So that's pretty much it. There's not much more to it than that. I just kind of wanted to update you on what was going on. Also, so I don't really have a recommendation. I'm not recommending anybody, by the way, not recommending anybody try anything on their own. Remember again that I've been doing work for a lot of years to prepare for this, and I am mentally in a different space than a lot of people, number one. Number two, I'm also in a fairly good place when I started this process. I wasn't in a crisis situation. I'm not having suicidal ideation or anything like that. So please be careful. Please reach out to someone if you're feeling alone, if you're feeling isolated. You don't have to go it alone. I am so thankful for my two transracial adoptee friends. They're amazing. So even if it's just a therapist, don't try to go this alone. I'll leave it at that. So this is Kamina the coach, wishing you love, light, peace, and joy. Until next time, we'll see you. Peace.